It's a tough world out there in the store. A very large number of stimuli constantly bombard shoppers' senses. Because of that, their attention is very selective. They have to be selective and focus their attention. Consumers simply can't look at every product, read every sign, and admire every display prepared by marketers. Consumers select only a small number of the stimuli for further mental processing. What attracts a shopper's attention is very much influenced by the characteristics of the stimuli. If you want to draw attention to particular products in the store, you can consciously employ these visual magnets. The three characteristics that you can use to draw shoppers' attention to a product or display are novelty, position, and contrast. Here is something I want to show you. Just a moment. Okay. Now, how about this? Do I have your attention? Well, I know it's a cheap trick, but it helps me get my point across. I attracted your attention through novelty. Surprising, new or unusual stimuli like this will attract people's attention. Stimuli like products, signs, or decorations that appear in unexpected ways or places increase people's attention because they cause a change in the sensory system. For example, building a huge pyramid showing apparel merchandise will get the attention of customers because it's an unusual presentation method in a fashion store. Likewise, a rearrangement of merchandise attracts interest because of its novelty. But be careful. Too much novelty in a store will result in consumer confusion and overwhelm shoppers. Always keep a balance between new and traditional stimuli. For example, when merchandise in the entrance area is replaced by new arrivals, the rest of the merchandise should keep their prior placement. Don't change everything at the same time. Position is another way to catch shopper attention. Position refers to a product or display's placement and size. Simply put, if you place a product in a spot where most shoppers look, it will get noticed. Perhaps you remember from a previous lecture that this effect can be achieved by presenting products that should get noticed at the appropriate height on a shelf. Eye level is buy level. Products that are placed in shelves at the shopper's eye level receive considerably more attention than other products. Displaying products in areas of the store that receive the most store traffic also works. Size is yet another way to attract shoppers' fickle attention. Larger stimuli are more likely to be noticed than smaller ones. For example, it's difficult to miss this bubblegum machine because of its size. How do you like my new glasses? You did notice them right away, didn't you? In visual merchandising, bigger is indeed often better. Contrast is another way to attract the consumer's attention. It works because changes in the environment activate the sensory receptors and thereby stimulate attention. How do you like my new hat? It's small, right? But you still noticed it because of contrast. It's much smaller than other hats, which sets it apart from them and attracts attention. Besides, it may also be a little bit surprising. Varying the intensity of a stimulus represents one way of creating attention using contrast. All stimuli addressing the human senses can be varied according to the intensity desired. For example, brighter areas of a store will get more attention than darker ones. Louder music will attract more attention than softer music. Contrast can also be achieved through vivid colors. Intense colors, for example, bright red or yellow, will highlight products more than less intense colors like pastel shades. But even a product in a black and white package will attract attention if all the surrounding products are brightly colored. Another way to attract attention through contrast is movement. Examples of using movement in visual merchandising are moving message signs, rotating product displays, and flashing lights. One more way to use contrast to attract attention is isolation. Recently, in the large window of an Apple store, I saw a display of one of the new iPhones. It was only the iPhone and nothing else. It certainly created attention. Now you know how to create attention for what you want shoppers to see in the store. But be careful. Attracting attention is to a large extent driven by the stimulus characteristics, but maintaining the attention on a product or display depends on the customer's motivation and interests. If the shopper isn't interested in what she sees in the store, she will quickly lose interest and focus her attention on something else, regardless of the novelty, position, or contrast of that stimulus. Even flashing lights won't help with that. Creating attention is simply not enough. What visual merchandising can do, however, is to create a short window of opportunity and captivate the shopper's attention for a moment or two.